can hear the roar here in New Orleans. We've got the Detroit Pistons in New Orleans. 2K Sports is proud to present NBA basketball. I'm Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony and Doris Burke reporting from the sideline. Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting five on the floor. And Detroit looking at who they've got. Jackson and Caldwell Pope, the guards. Andre Drummond is out there with Marcus Morris. And it's Harris in at the small forward. Evans with the steal. It's Davis with the drive. And that's out of bounds. New Orleans will retain possession. Off the inbound pass. Rebounded by Jackson. Pelicans on D. Here's that jam. I mean, just beautiful. Nasty. Absolutely filthy.
And the building is stunned, partner. He dug deep into his bag of tricks.
I tell you what, I hope he keeps that one handy. I want to see that one again.
That first time out of the game called for New Orleans.
And last season, the Pelicans made it into the playoffs. I mean, could have had an easier road to get there if they were stronger against the Eastern Conference.
And the Pelicans were solid against the East, Clark, 16 and 14. But as Greg was just saying, a lot of games left on the table for them.
Well, they had the lowest win total against the East of any Western playoff team. Really, the Pelicans were lucky to get in, given how many games they gave away against the East.
That'll be a 5-second call. Off the inbound. In deep, Drummond drops it in. Drummond's got his first points in this one.
Well, Merry Christmas. That was a freebie.
And the shot is good. He kicks it to Caldwell Pope. Outside Jackson. Morris outside. Harris passes to Morris. And Drummond kicks to Caldwell Pope. And a miss there on the triple. To the inside. Here's Holiday. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot two.
Yeah, good job to take it right at the D.
Yeah, really left him no choice there, Greg. He had to foul and keep him from converting the easy bucket.
And the second free throw, good. Well, last season, the Pistons didn't reach the playoffs for the 6th consecutive season. They're making progress, but as we can all see, still have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, you know, they were spoiled for a while there. How about going to the playoffs for 1996 to 2009? So it's been a rough stretch here of late. But you get the feeling that the building blocks are in place for another push.
And so it's New Orleans with it. 4-point game. Here's Anderson. And a strong finish with two hands.
Just lazy defense on the glass there.
Well, nobody boxed out. Nobody put a body on anybody else. Things like that not only drive the coach crazy, that stuff gets under my skin.
And that one's good. Drummond.
Another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively so far.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see them operating a lot of their offense from the interior today.
Make it two hands for safety.
Oh, wow.
That's a beautiful jam. The rim rattler.
Just a remarkable jam. These fans' jaws are on the ground right now.
That's straight up Showtime stuff right there, baby. Major highlight reel material.
Look at that.
Oh, my goodness. Fella just making it look easy.
Well, he's got the athleticism and the aggressiveness to make this spectacular. Not that we get used to it, but look, a little routine sometimes.
You hit it on the head.
And that was spectacular.
And with the way the Warriors went on a rampage last year, you knew that Alvin Gentry would be in demand. Was the architect behind the Warriors offense, is one of the best offensive minds in our league.
And with Gentry, his offensive prowess can't be understated, Greg. His peers joke and say he can drop an open look for a corpse. I don't know about that, Clark, but we know he's talented. He's got a great offensive mind.
And you know that's right. And with this Pelicans team, he has plenty of firepower to work with, too.
Oh, he does. You're right. Goes up to the stripe. Not enough on that one as it misses.
That's an unusual, surprising miss for him. Typically, he's good on those inside.
And he gets the bucket.
Oh, this is the kind of start they were hoping for.
Yeah, shots falling, off to a very good start offensively as a result.
Here's Babbitt. And again, no good by New Orleans.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
Pelicans trailed by 7. And stolen by Drummond. Throws it up high.
And the lead just grows on that ridiculous offensive sequence.
You know, Clark, that dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop.
Yeah, that just added more to it.
And you know, guys, right now they're starting to flatline, just hanging on here for dear life.
Those are the kind of nice inside looks they've gotten in the first half here.
And I think they should continue to work the ball down low, Clark. It's really going to free up their outside shooting.
Babbitt dishes to Cunningham. Good. Detroit leading by 5. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Jackson passes to Tolliver. Fires for 3. Jackson misses. And here's the fast break. That is good.
No doubt that is within his range.
Well, I would hope so. He's a pro, and it was only a 1-footer. Come on now.
So far. In a moment now to quickly take a look at the offensive approach for the Pistons.
Fellas, they're passing the ball the way you're supposed to here in this first half.
You know, but also hasn't taken them long to make their mark in the paint. I mean, they're doing a lot of their scoring from in there.
We've got Cunningham. Gordon is out there with Quincy Pondexter. Then it's Omer Asher. And it's Ajinça in the power forwards position. So that's the group out there for New Orleans. The Pistons shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game.
And the season numbers for them at the line thus far are really poor. Something I'm sure they are making a point of emphasis.
You know, I know that's an aspect they've been trying to address as a team. I mean, they've got to get those free throw numbers up and improve.
And the basket by Gordon.
They've been strong on the boards. There's no disputing that.
That's what the box score says, but still anybody's game.
And Baines kicks to Harris. Solid as a rock from 20 feet away. Harris has got his first 2 points.
Well, we know prior to last season, the Pistons handed the car keys over to Stan Van Gundy. He had some early hiccups, but overall, I think they're headed in the right direction. He's a proven winning coach in the NBA.
Here's Cunningham. And he takes the feed in stride and slams it home.
Solid on the one-hand throw down there.
You know, Clark, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball.
Yep.
Yeah, and one reason why, I just don't know that I've ever seen him miss a play like that.
The Pelicans trail. Pass to Gordon. Second quarter, we're a little over a minute and a half in. Here's Ajinça. Chance there to take the lead. Missing.
That's what we call good defense in the paint. Worth its weight in gold.
It absolutely is, and maybe even more than that. I mean, you saw it right there. Without his presence, that's an easy basket.
That is good. Caldwell Pope got 4 this quarter.
How about the way he's able to angle his body to shield the big fella off and still get the finish?
You've got to be clever with your sleight of hand when you get inside and try to finish against the bigger guys. And he made it look easy that time.
Here's Harris. Rips down the breakaway slam.
Tacks a few more points onto their lead with the tomahawk.
Ah, that's bringing it down hard. Clark,
Yes,
bringing it down hard,
yes,
my
sir.
brother.
Yes, sir.
Symbolic there as well of the effort here tonight.
Pondexter dishes to Cunningham. And they immediately answer back with the dunk at the other end.
Went for the two-hander on that slam. That's where the weight room comes into play, Kevin.
I think some urgency from him there.
Yeah, I think he's sensing that this is a critical time in the game, fellas.
Over to the left wing. Beyond the arc. Good on the shot. Cunningham's got it all tied up now for New Orleans.
And now he's taken a solid opening in the quarter and built on it here in the second.
A full group substitution here for New Orleans. Davis is checked in for Usher. Anderson comes in for Alexis Ajinça. Tyreke Evans is checked in for Dante Cunningham. And it's Drew Holiday in for Quincy Pondexter. So Detroit going with an almost entire new group here. Drummond's checked in for Aaron Baines. Tolliver comes in for Morris. Johnson, he's checked in for Caldwell Pope. And Reggie Jackson subbed in for Jody Meeks. New Orleans is still a relatively young team, but they play with the maturity, I think, Clark, that's beyond their years.
You know, Kevin, the average age for them last year was just over 25 years old, and the youngest team in the West, actually, to make it to the playoffs last year.
Closing in on 4 minutes played here in the second quarter. Feeds it to Drummond. Stolen by Anderson. That one a little long.
That's exactly how you have to defend him. He's a guy that the D needs to be aware of at all times. And for the Pelicans, part of why they look so mature is how they protect. I mean, rarely giving away points for free and knowing how to close out games.
And you know, guys, the Pelicans only lost 5 games last year where they led going into the fourth quarter. They won 38 when entering the fourth quarter with the lead. That's very mature basketball for a team that's as young as they are.
Quincy Pondexter, he's checked in for Eric Gordon. Holiday, the pass to Davis. From the wing, Ryan Anderson again. Anderson's got the lead up to 4 now for the Pelicans.
Ooh, that is a tough shot.
Pistons passing it around. Tipped away. And now the Pelicans on the break. Pondexter from outside. Pelicans keep it alive. Holiday with the 3. That's a miss. He's made one and missed one. Jackson kicks to Harris. Here's Tolliver. Detroit, no good that time either.
I didn't see that miss coming. I mean, he's usually been money from that range.
Offensively, he can be the engine that drives them at any given time.
Jackson can't get it to go. And we finished one half of basketball. Pelicans lead by 6. And join us right back here after the break for the start of the second half. The third quarter now beginning. Both sides looking to pull away in the last half of the game. Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far. Pelicans leading by 6. Checking out the group for Stan Van Gundy to start the second half. Jackson and Caldwell Pope, the guards. Marcus Morris is out there with Andre Drummond. And it's Harris in the 3. There's the 3. Detroit had a hard time making shots consistently last season. Clark, not a good shooting team from the floor. And, of course, that's in this league, it's going to kill you.
Yeah, it really will. I mean, at one point last year, Kevin, 3 of their 5 starters were in the bottom 10 in terms of players' field goal percentage. I mean, hard to win any game that way.
Jackson kicks to Harris. Morris outside. Pocket 6. Jackson. And he's good on the 3 ball. Jackson's got the first points of the third quarter up on the board for the Pistons.
And the Pistons would finish in the bottom 3 in terms of team shooting last year.
I don't know that this is the time for that kind of flair. In a close game, the important thing is the 2 points, not the dramatic.
Oh, come on. Clark, he had to go for it, didn't he?
Yeah, but hey. He's an athlete, and I can't fault him for that one. Although, if he missed it, I might have.
New Orleans in the lead. Evans dishes to Davis. Yes, and a nice assist from Evans. 6 points for Anthony Davis.
You got to love the big bucket in the paint in this sort of grinded out physical game.
That's the kind of look they can continue to go with. Maybe that'll help them create some separation on the scoreboard. And really, last season was one of improvement for the Pistons. They were able to shoot the ball better and better as the season wore on. Overall, they cut out the little mistakes that had bothered them back in 14.
Some changes for New Orleans. Ashik comes in for Anthony Davis. And it's Luke Babbitt in for Tyreek Evans. Jody Meeks, he's checked in for the Pistons. The Pelicans have gone 2 of 5 shooting here in the third quarter. As you said, Greg, the Pistons were a team that showed marked improvement, and Clark, they did clean up their play style as well.
Yeah, they got better from 2014 to 15 in terms of upping their assist and cutting down the turnovers. Just made it a much more enjoyable game to watch the way they play.
And now the fast break. Meeks with the ball. Jody Meeks.
Everything going to plan here to start the third. 80% shooting thus far.
To the paint. Drummond working against Gordon. That one goes. Count. Gordon's got 4 points in the quarter.
4 of their last 5 makes came off of a high-quality shot inside.
Textbook. Really, when you look at how they're playing, they are having their way down low. Really strong rebounding on the interior, and he gets the easy putback.
Here's Anderson. Here's Babbitt. The shot no good. Now the Pistons take it the other way. Caldwell Pope kicks to Drummond. Near the three-point line, it's Morris. Again, the Pistons good for 2. For New Orleans, they've gone a somewhat subpar 4 of 10 on their shots in the second half so far. And it's Drummond with the jam.
Yeah, how about the sharp steal and then run out? It looks like they're ready to put the hammer down.
Well, we've been waiting for one of these teams, Greg, to pull away. Maybe that'll be a springboard for him.
Could be. A dunk like that coming off a great defensive play has to build some momentum.
Detroit shooting their 7th and 8th free throw attempts for the game right here. First free throw is good.
You know, as the season wore on, guys, the Pelicans became a matchup that nobody wanted to see. Very tough against teams and had very few weaknesses, too.
Catching up on the changes for New Orleans. Alexis Ajinça has checked in for Ashik. Cunningham comes in for Ryan Anderson. And it's Pondexter in for Gordon. Pondexter from outside. And the Pelicans miss again. Well, for the Pelicans last season, they were a tough matchup. The defense was one thing, but their mentality, the way they thought through the game was fantastic.
Yeah, and Kevin, you look at their record against other playoff teams, and it stacks up well. I mean, they made the playoffs by never thinking they were at a disadvantage on the floor. And having that kind of confidence in a young team, that only really speaks for positives moving forward.
They might be named after a car park, but the Pistons had a rough go of things on the road, Clark. They just had to use it. They just couldn't stay consistent away from home.
They couldn't. Only won 14 road games, and that number is not enough to get you to the playoffs.
Anthony Davis, he's checked in for the Pelicans. Evans comes in for Quincy Pondexter.
Tell you what, he can do a lot more damage to that rim than that when he wants to.
And you know, Clark, with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one.
Me too.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm glad he didn't, because otherwise we'd probably have a 45-minute delay here if he shattered the backboard.
Caldwell Pope kicks to Tolliver. It's Meeks outside. Another 3 for Detroit.
Wow, unconscious has he been this quarter. They're riding that hot hand.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
That's right. 5 of their last 6 makes were on the interior, their inside presence.
To the middle. Out of bounds, New Orleans will take possession.
I tell you what, he clearly had a brain freeze on that one. You might just as well keep going straight.
He's playing well. By 6. Quick break then gets you back to the action. Thanks for joining us again as we get set for the 4th quarter. A terrific game so far. The big men are Anderson and Davis. Holiday out there with Gordon. And it's Evans in at the 3, the small forward. That's the Pelicans 5. Got a hand on it, but they get it back. Anderson's shot is off.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his.
By 6. The feed to Evans. Back to Holiday. And now the Pistons fast.
That happened.
And this sort of awesome dunk is one of the reasons this team is in charge of this game right now.
Clark, there is a swagger out here on the court that they possess and are not afraid to show it either.
That's right.
I tell you what, I used to love to go up and jam like that.
Now a timeout called by Detroit.
Yeah, saw some things that just weren't working for them and wants to make some adjustments.
Yeah, and no reason to wait around to do that, Greg. I mean, might as well make those adjustments right away.
And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
In the break, guys, I listened in on Stan Van Gundy's huddle. He laid one thing out there for them, saying, now is the time to eliminate any chance of a mistake. We've got a good lead. Don't take any unnecessary risks or commit a silly foul. Smart basketball from here on out.
Omer Ashe, he's checked in for the Pelicans. Jackson passes to Drummond. Kicks to Caldwell Pope. Stolen by Holiday. It'll go, and the Detroit lead is cut to just 3 points on the basket from Eric Gordon.
And the deeper we get into this game, it seems like the more the offenses are in rhythm.
Without question. I mean, both of these teams are firing on full broadband bandwidth. I mean, full throttle ahead.
And he gets it to go. Caldwell Pope's got 21 in the game.
Guys, his consistency in terms of shooting has really helped them seize control.
Holiday goes in. The kick out to Anderson. That 3 off the mark. Detroit leading by 5. Caldwell Pope dishes to Jackson. No good. Evans with some nice D.
Those are chances. Almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
And it's good.
Unbelievable basket. I mean, giving up a lot of height there, but he was not to be denied.
Not when the game's hanging in the balance. That makes it a little different. He was going to get to the rim no matter who was standing in the way on that one.
And Drummond kicks to Morris. Stolen by Ashik.
He was on that pass in the flash. Read it, reacted, and then picked it off.
They are just killing him on the interior.
Yeah, you can't say that with enough emphasis. I mean, the defenders are just not being aggressive enough down low. You got to play with some physicality in the paint.
Let's take a moment here to get your guys' take on scoring so far for the Pistons.
They keep piling up the assists, and they haven't cooled off at all.
Something else they've done is force a lot of mistakes defensively, and they've been turning those turnovers into points.
New Orleans making a switch here. Davis is checked in.
You know what? A low percentage pass on that one, but sometimes it's worth the risk.
Well, that time the risk did not pay off because it was well defended.
And it's Harris off the drive. Detroit, no good that time either.
Great looking defense, really, just to disrupt the rhythm on that shot.
Yeah, really turned it from a simple, straightforward look into a very difficult shot.
Anderson, he's checked in for Omer Ashe. Jackson kicks to Caldwell Pope. Here's Morris. Cans the shot from the wing. And the Pistons lead by 5.
And a nice spark for their offense here in the second half. Now above 50% for the game.
And, you know, guys, that kind of offensive efficiency really keeps a lot of pressure on the opponent, and that's part of why the lead is what it is.
It's stolen by Morris. And here comes Harris leading the fast break. Caldwell Pope passes to Harris. Out to Morris. Lets it go from deep. That's good. Morris is You can hear the roar here in Oklahoma City. We've got the Detroit Pistons facing the Oklahoma City Thunder. 2K Sports is proud to present NBA basketball. I'm Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony and Doris Burke reporting from the sidelines. All right, let's set the floor courtesy of Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. On the floor for Detroit, Jackson and Caldwell Pope, the guards. Tobias Harris is out there with Marcus Morris. And it's Drummond in at the 5 spot. Here is Durant. After the basket by Detroit. Cantor. And it's sent back by Drummond. And here comes Harris leading the fast break. Jackson misses. Durant at the elbow. Oh! Nasty. Absolutely filthy.
And the building is stunned, partner. He dug deep into his bag of tricks.
I tell you what, I hope he keeps that one handy. I want to see that one again. Wow, the floor just really opened up for him on that possession.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for good offense, but that was just a terrible reaction from the defense.
Defensively, that possession better not start a trend because they just handed him 2 points. And Detroit was a 32-50 record last season. They didn't have any help from the schedule. They had a total of 22 back-to-back series on the year, tied for most in the league.
And in the first, a little over a minute and a half in. It's Westbrook with the drive. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. Well, you look back on the Thunder last season, and the theme was injuries. Too many injuries to the bulk of their core.
And, you know, the big 3, Durant, Westbrook, and Ibaka, all missed significant time. Only Westbrook of those 3 was able to finish the season.
And listen, those injuries really did the Thunder in. I mean, at no time during the season did they ever really get a chance to gel and play any stretch of games with their entire roster.
Well, Thunder have gone 4 of 5 from the field so far. And it's sent back by Drummond. And they're on the break. The 3-pointer, no good.
You know, every franchise will have a year that is just lost to injuries. I mean, it happens. The hard part of it for the Thunder is that it happened while so many of their stars are in their prime.
Caldwell Pope dishes to Jackson. Here's Harris to the paint. Wants to get it to Morris and does. Just a bit of an up and down year for the Pistons last season. Had some long winning streaks and some long losing streaks for first-year head coach Stan Van Gundy.
Yeah, Kevin, some would say it was addition by subtraction because they really went on that big run after they released Josh Smith. 7 straight wins for them at one point, and they also did have some giant lulls.
Randy Foye, he's checked in for Russell Westbrook. Here's Foye. It's good, and he drew contact on the shot, so we will go to the line. A 3-point play chance here. Steven Adams, he's checked in for the Thunder. Kyle Singler comes in for Kevin Durant. And the free throw, no good.
And, you know, those giant lulls were a big part of the Pistons' season. I mean, their biggest losing streak was 13 straight losses, and a lot of that you attribute to their defense.
And very little fight put up by the defense as he made his way to the bucket for the jam.
They did seem to take the cautious approach, Greg, when it came to defending that one. You're right.
And, guys, it's not the time for caution now. I mean, they've got to be aggressive and take some risks to see if they can cut that lead down. Boy, he's just dangling from the rim after sending it through there.
You can see which team now has the swagger card right now.
Yeah, it's with them.
And, guys, that swagger can backfire because you don't want to get your opponent a little too riled up. And the Pistons also went into a slump after they traded for Reggie Jackson. 1-9 after the trade deadline. They would end the season on a better note, but truly they were streaky last season.
And the Thunder with the possession here. After the miss from Andre Drummond. Here's Jackson. That three off the mark.
Hard to figure out how he doesn't knock that one down. No defender in sight.
Here's Roberson. Here's Ibaka. And that one is good with the extra effort on the glass.
And their offense already in a flow. Some stellar shooting to jump out to this lead.
Quality looks they're getting, and they're capitalizing on them, guys. They have to be happy with this start offensively.
And the Pistons decide to take their first timeout right here. A different look for Oklahoma City. Nick Collison's checked in for Ibaka. Morrow comes in for Kyle Singler. And Deion Waiters subbed in for Andre Roberson. And a different look here for the Pistons. Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Andre Drummond. Tolliver comes in for Marcus Morris. Johnson, he's checked in for Tobias Harris. And it's Jody Meeks in for Jackson. Pistons foul. Morrow. And Adams kicks to Waiters. And it's Kentavious Caldwell-Pope with the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Waiters on the wing. Right side, Collison. Adams trying to free himself up.
And despite that miss, a strong start for them offensively.
Yeah, they're scoring with confidence, Greg, making them count in the early going here.
Tolliver kicks to Caldwell-Pope. And here we go with Waiters running it up the court. Here's Foy. Battles through traffic and lays it in. Foy's got his second bucket.
I think they need to get much more disruptive defensively. They can't just keep allowing these easy baskets.
That's got to be job number one right now. Nothing easy on the inside.
Here's Caldwell-Pope. Good, and it's Johnson with the assist that time.
Boy, they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing that ball into the paint. Smash mouth basketball.
And Clark, it's a strategy that has served them well during the course of this first half.
4 seconds left. And he makes no mistake on the slam dunk.
Tell you what, Kevin, they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
Clark, that deficit will go away quickly if he does.
And how about how he...
The scoring fast and furious as we end the first quarter. Thunder lead by 7. And we'll be back with you for the start of the second quarter when we return. And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And let's get your take, guys, on the scoring breakdown for the Thunder.
Guys, right from the start, it's been apparent they're determined to establish a presence in the paint.
Well, the job of penetrating that they've done so far has really been excellent. I mean, they've done a nice job driving to the hoop effectively.
Westbrook the point with Waiters at the 2. Tanner is the power forward with Adams in the middle. And it's Durant in at the 3 spot. That's the lineup out there for the Thunder.
And how about a little bit of showmanship there as he increases the lead?
Oh, I like that. That's got to be, though, a tough pill for the defense to swallow.
Well, he's a guy that you know can hurt you with his passing, and right there, he does some damage with his finishing, too.
Serge Ibaka, he's checked in for Adams. And it's Durant missing.
Well, he won't miss many of those, especially with the defender not in the best of positions there.
Well, it was a season last year of heartbreak and change for the Thunder, narrowly missing the playoffs as the Pelicans beat them out for that 8th position.
Yeah, and they were teetering back and forth on that 8th spot for most of the year. Ultimately, they just couldn't hold on to that final playoff spot.
The Thunder leading by 5. And there's Enes Kanter on the assist by Westbrook.
You know what? That's what you like to see. A perfect pass leading him right into the shot. Didn't even have to break stride.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case. It looked like Greg Anthony right there, but if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play, triggering some instant offense.
And this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there. Do a lot more damage to that rim than that when he wants to.
And you know, Clark, with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one.
Me too.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm glad he didn't, because otherwise we'd probably have a 45-minute delay here if he shattered the backboard. And
Woo. You know, sort of surprising he goes for a slam that difficult while they're trailing.
Yeah, but still, you know what? A magnificent move. To the rim.
I tell you what, guys, I don't care what the score is. That's the play we're going to remember when this game is over.
Back to Drummond. On the wing, Harris. The shot is off. Durant with some nice D. The Thunder leading by 8. Stolen by Jackson. Morris kicks to Caldwell Pope. This is to Drummond. Harris passes to Jackson. Back to Harris. 6 to shoot. No good off the back of the rim. And Durant, here we go. And he can't extend the lead to double digits. Raiders against Jackson. Harris kicks to Jackson. Drummond dishes to Caldwell Pope. Off target from outside. Here's Westbrook. It's an interconference contest here in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, as the Thunder play one at home. I'd like to welcome you to the NBA on 2K Sports. With Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan. And now the opening lineup for Detroit. Jackson and Caldwell Pope, the guards. Tobias Harris is out there with Marcus Morris. And it's Drummond in at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
You know, for the past few seasons, guys, Detroit had been a team that struggled to punish teams from the perimeter. Last year, that was not the case. They showed dramatic improvement in being a threat from behind the arc.
Jackson kicks to Drummond. Stolen by Collison. Here's Foy. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. That one on Harris.
Nice work to get it inside and draw the contact.
Exactly. The defense determined not to allow the easy layup right there. They'll settle for making him earn the free throws.
As you said, the Pistons became a team that could hurt you from deep. They set a franchise record for most makes per game and almost 9 made threes per contest.
And it wasn't like Detroit was forcing it. I mean, they were just good at shooting the three. I mean, they finished in the top 10 in the NBA in both total three-pointers made and three-point percent.
He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
And that's a really deft touch right there, guys.
And he just guided that ball back up and in. You know, Clark, just a fingertip touch on the ball.
Really well done.
And you know what? No need to catch it in a situation like that. He's got terrifically soft hands, and that finish doesn't allow the defense to react.
Got a piece of it. And stolen by Pitt. Look at that jam. Well, Clark, we've seen the lead change hands quite a bit this one.
Yeah, we sure have. I mean, it's been a bit of a windshield wiper game. I mean, back and forth, the lead has gone 5 times, so no one in clear control yet.
And, guys, I think each team knows they can win this game. Just a matter who can catch that momentum.
Here's Harris. And he takes the feed in stride and slams it home.
Make it 2 hands for safety. That's what they say, right, Kevin?
Yeah, that's right. You got it. And he was ultra safe with that dunk.
No reason not to be.
And, guys, as he should be. Remove all doubt on that attack.
It's rebounded by Oklahoma City.
And you can see he just rushed that a little bit. Lost the focus, I think. Excellent work there in transition.
Yeah, I think it's always better to go early in transition, to attack when it's there, because oftentimes you can beat the defense down the floor.
It really does make the game easy for your teammates when you can lead them to the rim that well with a pass.
You know, that's been a big part of their offense in the early stages. I mean, their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range, right at the rim.
And, Clark, they might as well keep doing it. I mean, attack the basket.
Well, you look at the roster of the Thunder from last year, Clark, they knew how to build from within.
Well, last season's roster, everybody but one player was either drafted or acquired via trade. That's a rare combo in the NBA.
And Oklahoma City going with a whole new group out there. And a switcher also for Detroit, Anthony Tolliver. He's checked in for Morris. It has been nip and tuck through the first half.
No kidding. I mean, neither team has been able to hold the lead for any length of time, guys.
So close.
Exactly, guys. The way it's seesawed back and forth, unbelievable. Just impressed with the teamwork out there, setting the table for one another.
5 straight baskets, Greg, resulting from assists. They're playing as one unit out there.
And really no choice but to lunge for that pass to make sure it didn't get through.
Yeah, and that was important. Probably would have been a quick 2 points if he doesn't get a hand on it and knock it out of bounds.
Here's what Detroit's going with right now. Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Drummond. Johnson comes in for Tobias Harris. And it's Jody Meeks in for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope.
Boy, this game is off to a flying start.
Yeah, we're seeing some high-octane offense from both sides in this one.
Well, you look back on the Thunder last season, and the theme was injuries. Too many injuries to the bulk of their core.
And, you know, the big 3, Durant, Westbrook, and Ibaka, all missed significant time. Only Westbrook of those 3 was able to finish the season.
And listen, those injuries really did the Thunder in. I mean, at no time during the season did they ever really get a chance to gel and play any stretch of games with their entire roster.
You know, every franchise will have a year that is just lost to injuries. I mean, it happens. The hard part of it for the Thunder is that it happened while so many of their stars are in their prime. Boy, I tell you what, he does not look like your typical big man up there at the line. He has an excellent stroke and a percentage to match.
Back to Adams. Stolen. And that'll be Oklahoma. The City's ball as it goes out of bounds.
I tell you what, that's just a major unforced error right there, guys. My goodness.
The Thunder leading by 4. Fires the 3. And it's Meeks with the rebound. Detroit's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Here's Jackson. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2. Pistons have shot 2 free throws, and they're 1 of 2 so far.
And the season numbers for them at the line thus far are really poor. Something I'm sure they are making a point of emphasis.
And this year they haven't quite been able to maintain the free throw percentage they had last season.
The Pistons making a change here. Drummond's checked in for Aaron Baines. Marcus Morris comes in for Anthony Townsend. Harris is checked in for Johnson. And it's Caldwell Pope in for Jody Meeks.
He presents a defender with a serious challenge, always.
For 3, Westbrook. And he gets the bucket. Pistons trailed by 3. Tried to come right back with the 3 of his own, but it's no good. Durant attacking. It's hauled in by Harris.
Boy, I tell you what, guys, he's an extremely strong finisher. I'm surprised he wasn't able to power that through the defense.
And at the end of 1, both teams putting up some points. It's the Thunder. And we got a close game here as we get back to the second quarter. And a chance now to catch up on some numbers here. The hustle stats for the Thunder.
Well, I think the defensive aggressiveness on display here has caught him off guard. Playing airtight defense and coming up with the steals.
And also, they're jumping on a lot of turnovers, making sure they turn them into points at the other end.